Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear friends, this is the hour in which we intend to speak about the meditation practice that supports wisdom, that supports insight. The theme we were developing today is about knowing and seeing how things have come to be, with the idea that once we catch hold of this truth about conditionality and how what we experience is arising out of the causes and conditions, that it's a tremendous relief. The opposite state to experiencing in terms of dependent arising, in terms of cause and condition, the opposite to that would be possibly like a self-conceit. The Pali word is called asmimana. That's one of the final fetters that's got to go before one is fully awakened. And what that self-conceit is trying to do is to measure everything in terms of oneself. So something is here because it's close to me. It's over there because it's farther away from me. It's too hot because it's too hot for this body. Too cold because it's too cold for this body. And so on. Everything measured in comparison to this center reference point of oneself. Or another way that we can think of it is in terms of having a belief system or a view that is sort of almost building up ideology about justifying one's own greed and clinging and self-defense and feeling like I've got to be me. I have a right to be me. I've got to honor my own feelings. I've got to honor my opinions. So on like that. Many different ways in which we build up a set of ideas that are supporting this basic assumption about the self. But this self-view is fundamentally stressful because it puts us at odds with reality. Nothing is ever just right in terms of how it is supporting or not supporting one's own precious self. We are like the princess and the pea. A goblin put a pea underneath her mattress, and she felt so uncomfortable because of what she experienced as the lump in the mattress, and it put on many layers of soft mattresses. But no matter how much she tried to protect herself, she could always feel that irritation of that lump arising from the pea that had been placed under the pillow. So just the same way, until we have the breakthrough of wisdom to see things how they really are, we will always be at odds with reality, always be not really comfortable. Or if we're comfortable, it's only for a minute. This morning I mentioned about the awakening of Sariputta. This is a chapter of the Kandakas it's in the Vena. There's many wonderful stories of the early days. When Sariputta heard the brief version of the Buddha's teaching that the recluse Asaji had told him, that the Buddha teaches about that which arises from a cause, and he teaches about the cessation thereof. Then it's written that the Dhamma eye opened for Sariputta, and he exclaimed, everything that has the nature to arise must cease. This is the same statement that was given by the first Buddha disciple to have that opening of the Dhamma eye, that entrance, the stream entry, the first insight, Kondanya. He exclaimed, whatever has the nature to arise also has the nature to cease. And so this is another way, I think, of expressing this yathā, bhūta, ñāṇa, dassana. Seeing things as they are, as they have come to be. And it's an escape from stress, because we're not trying to uphold a fiction. We're not trying to uphold some kind of propaganda. Instead, we're just accepting, oh, this is how it is. And not even that we're like patiently bearing something that's unpleasant and say, well, oh, I'm so sad because everything has to cease and I'm just going to bear it patiently like a beast of burden. No, it's not like that. It's like, oh, okay, this is the reality. And then when we see it, it's very relaxing. As to meditation, there are some meditation practices that have a kind of a way of talking to oneself in order to let go of that conceit. For example, in the meditation on the elements, one considers the earth element internally, whatever's hard or soft or earthy inside the body, and then consider externally whatever's hard or earthy externally, and consider whether it's internal or external, that the earth element is not me, it's not mine, and not myself. And so using those verbal theme as a kind of like a mantra to direct the mind to letting go of any clinging and to looking at the elements in those terms as being not me, not mine, not myself. Also, that's a way of softening. I think that's a way of softening Sakkaya Ditthi, a way of softening the belief system or the wrong view about these things being one the self. Or saying, well, I may not own the mountain over there on the horizon, but at least I'm the owner of my own body. There's another meditation practice that occurred to me that's even more, I would say, direct in this regard, and that it has to do with the way ordinary people would perceive objects according to the signs. Like if you see, or if you think of I'm trying to think of something that won't cause anybody to be offended. If you think of Norway and Norwegian people, something might come to mind as what you recall or what you've read or experienced and what you think is like typical about Norway. You know, it's very dark in the wintertime and they have snow and they're very outdoorsy and they love hiking and walking and camping and or something like that. Whatever we happen to know about Norway and Norwegian people, Scandinavian people. And so then knowing just one or two meager facts, one can use that as a kind of a label for the whole country. But we know that the whole country, or that the whole people, or even one person, is much, much, much greater than that. Any one person is not defined by their particular quality, whether they have a personality type or a size, a shape, a color, or anything like that. It doesn't define what the person is, but nevertheless, we use these shortcuts. And also in regards to ourselves. So this process is, in Abhidhamma, is referenced in terms of what's called perception of compactness. So the exact boundaries of, staying with my example, my metaphor, the exact boundaries or the outer edges of what you would include or not include as being within Norwegian is kind of unclear exactly where the boundaries are when somebody starts being Norwegian or when one stops being Norwegian. It's a little bit unclear, but with this perception of compactness, because of putting a label, we've made it like definite, like this is Norway and this is not Norway. And this perception of compactness is a very big part of like the psychology or perception, like which causes the false identification with the self to come about. So internally, one might think of oneself, I think that I'm good, I think I'm bad, I think I'm equal, I think I'm a certain personality type. Whatever label I assign to myself is creating a false perception, a wrong view, which is really supporting this whole arising of dukkha, this whole arising of the whole process of dukkha. And in the Abhidhamma, in the Patisambhidamagga, I found one sentence that I loved very much. It said, due to the contemplation of destruction, the five faculties are released from the perception of compactness. And so I think meditation practice where we are directing the mind to cessation, directing the mind towards the ending of things, developing the ability to perceive the end of things, that will support in a very direct way, coming out of the delusion about the self and being able to see both internally and externally, to see things how they really are. You might have experienced this in the past if you had especially if you had a longer retreat. Perhaps one could start a meditation with a very clear perception of the physical body seated on the cushion, feeling the weight of the body on the cushion, the upright posture, and so forth, sort of experiencing the body and the meditation posture as being something kind of clear and definite. And then in starting the breath meditation, for example, one could direct the awareness to the rising and falling of the abdomen and having a very clear impression about that. But then by sustaining the meditation without losing the meditation, without becoming distracted, after a little while, it's like that experience of being this compact physical body that's got a certain weight that's pressing on the cushion and that has the abdomen going up and down, sort of like evaporates and breaks up. And one still has the perception of the breath, but it's no longer tied down to the perception of the movement of the abdomen. It's like that experience of that physical phenomenon has sort of fallen apart. The perception of abdomen has just fallen apart. There's just something being experienced that's energetic or something like that. Or it could be that in experiencing, say, pain, someplace in the body is painful, like the shoulders are painful, or the neck is painful, or the knee is painful, something like that. And then at first, if you just watch it, it seems to be like kind of concise and definite, and you've got a clear sense of a location and a clear sense of the flavor of the Vedana that's going on there, that this is unpleasant, this is painful, and the pain is located in such and such a position of the body, but you just keep watching it. You don't let the attention waver. You don't let the mind be disturbed or reactive. You just watch. And then the experience of pain breaks up. And you're just experiencing a vibration, or just experiencing something which no longer is coming to your mind as pain. And so at that moment, when we have the training in meditation, if we can keep the mind steady, we have a chance to say, oh, cessation. It's not that we begin to think about it and say, and remember, it was there before, now it's gone. It's not thinking, but it's directly experiencing how some of the perceptions that we start out with in meditation break up and disappear. How some of the feelings that we could experience in meditation breaks up and disappears. How even the experience of our consciousness being lodged within the physical body breaks up and disappears. If we can direct the mind to that, that will be a powerful and direct support for the arising of insight, to be able to see everything as simply arising and disappearing, and losing the delusion or the wrong view about the self. So that's my suggestion for meditation this afternoon. Let us come to a meditation posture, and then we can sit together for the next 35 minutes. Coming to an upright and balanced meditation posture. Aware of how the physical body is arranged, how the legs and feet are arranged, setting the legs and feet in a comfortable position. Aware of the back. Giving a bit of a stretch if that helps, to get the back situated in an upright and comfortable as possible position. Letting go of any stress and tension in the back. Aware of the shoulders. Letting the shoulders be relaxed. Aware of the hands. Setting the hands where they can rest for the whole hour. Aware of the head. Making the head balanced. Letting go of any tension or stress. If there's any headache, just think of letting the stress and pain float away for now. and aware of the face, releasing any tension or strain around the eyes or the mouth, making the face very relaxed. Aware of the whole body, balanced, relaxed, sensitive. And within the body, if the rise and fall of breath is there, noticing the breath. Sensitive to the experience of the body. See if it stays the same or if it's changing. How much can we notice? How many moments can we notice with the arising of experience with the body? aware of the feeling that arises, but keeping the mind neutral, not so much responding to feeling, but just watching, pleasant or not pleasant. Aware of perceptions that arise. We might recognize rising, falling, rising, falling, breathing in, breathing out. Not emphasizing those perceptions, just keeping the mind neutral and see a perception has come along. Just see what it is. What's happening here? What's it like? Is it changing or not? Aware of any mental fabrications that come along. A story, a wish, a thought. Just see them when they arise and see them when they're finished. aware of awareness. How we know what's happening, how we are awake and experiencing it clearly, or sometimes awareness drifts away, or like we doze off, that even awareness comes to an end and then comes back again, always changing, more clear, less clear, more present, less present, seeing how awareness itself comes and goes. Calming the body, calming the breath, calming the feeling and activity of the mind, inclining towards stillness. So my suggestion, if you have the freedom to spend this afternoon in meditation, is to stay in silence, to have as much sustained sitting and walking meditation as you can. Bear up to the silence and the quiet. Let the mind become more calm, inclining towards calmness, and see if you can directly experience this breaking up of our mental fabrications. If you can directly experience impermanence, if you can directly experience cessation, everything that arises in your meditation will have a cessation. See if you can notice cessation. And this will condition the mind for the insight to arise, what we're practicing for. Thank you for your participation and patient listening. And this will be the end of this segment of the broadcast meditation. Sadhu, sadhu. Oh, I see a question from Kim. I'm going to stop the YouTube now.